The morning of January 6th, 2021, was by far the largest peaceful protest for fair elections ever assembled in America. After decades of unanswered election fraud evidence from both political parties, the 2020 election was by far the most egregious. An issue once heralded by the American liberal, who is now flagrantly quiet on the issue while seizing total control of the system with the full support of the entire mainstream media apparatus, pushing their once sacred democracy over the cliff into tyranny, just as Plato predicted millenniums ago. What should have been remembered as a historic day for democracy was spun into a blatant lie. Aside from the murder of Ashley Babbitt, the small amount of violence that did occur was about what you would expect, considering how the FBI, who have faked and manufactured nearly 95% of every terrorist arrest they've made since 9/11, had agent provocateurs involved in the so-called January 6th insurrection from the start. Federal agent provocateurs who remain free and protected, while dozens of innocent Americans are being tortured in jail with complete disregard for justice. With no evidence of a crime, they are being held in unlawfully cruel conditions, ignored by the criminal media responsible for putting them there, and punished for speaking to the press about beatings and torture. We don't know much about them. But we do know Joe Biggs. After serving his country honorably as a soldier, he then became a voice for American justice. Joe Biggs is now being held in third world prison conditions for simply being present at the U.S. Capitol. He recently wrote of his 3-month experience in jail. He wrote of health issues he has experienced as a result of sleeping only 4 hours a night on a cold steel rack, while not being allowed to work out, and only given 10 hours of sunlight in 3 months. A soy-based diet with hardly any protein, mostly processed foods, and some kind of gelatin dog food-looking stuff. There is no privacy allowed for the toilets, and he is allotted a single shelf that nothing can be placed on. They are punished by losing the ability to talk to family and being stripped naked and locked alone in a bright, freezing room. Joe Biggs wrote, "I have anxiety bad now. Panic attacks so bad I black out." What happened on January 6th, 2021 was a crime perpetrated by a corrupt government against the American people. This is evident to anyone outside of the brainwashed herd. Russian President Vladimir Putin has spoken out against these crimes, and yet former President Trump has not. Perhaps the worst part of all is how both liberals and conservatives remain silent. Like cowardly domesticated pets, they say nothing while dozens of innocent Americans are tortured in jail like war criminals, without any evidence of a crime. For Infowars.com, this is Greg Reese. Thank you for watching the latest Greg Reese Report. Be sure to go to reesereport.com to see my latest videos, sign up for my free newsletter, and subscribe for exclusive content. And be sure to support my sponsor at InfoWarsStore.com. Big Pharma was born out of the Rockefeller oil industry in 1900 with the petrochemical. The petrochemical then dominated two major industries, plastics and drugs. Companies began synthesizing patented versions of naturally sourced drugs. The natural sources were then made illegal. Pharmaceuticals became medicine. And the sicker people got, the more their industry grew. It's a death cult, and it's up to the individual to escape. Good health begins with a healthy immune system, which needs the proper nutrients to thrive. Nutrients we cannot readily get from our food today. The combinations of vitamin C and zinc and vitamin D3 with calcium have been proven to be what we need to maintain a healthy immune system. Go to InfoWarsStore.com and start supporting your natural immune system now with the Mega Immune Support Pack, now 40% off.